Hi Ryan. First of all, thank you so much for emailing me. I really appreciate it, and I think the fact that you were driven enough to do that and to want to improve your dystopian writing assignment is a really great sign. It means you're going to do really well. First of all, I decided to print out a copy and mark it up so I could reference it. The first thing I noticed that you should take note of is make sure your font is an appropriate font. The size, margins, and everything are as they need to be. Right now it's not double spaced and the font is a little bit big. It could be that this is just a rough draft, so it doesn't matter. But when you turn in electronically the final copy, you'll want to make sure to take care of that. The next thing I noticed, I'll read it aloud. The dystopian village of Barnesville gives off a strange luminescent titillation. So that first sentence is loaded with lots of really great words, but some of the grammar's off. So the dystopian village of Barnesville gives off. I think you just want to get rid of the is and stick with gives off. And the next couple words, strange luminescent titillation, are all separated by commas, and I don't think that there needs to be so many. And also, I think the meaning of this sentence is a little bit unclear, so it could just be strange, comma, luminescent titillation. But the village is giving off a bright or luminescent feeling that kind of tickles you in a way, and that doesn't necessarily make sense. So what I would recommend doing is taking that word titillation and making it more active. So this isn't exactly how I do it, play around with it and get it how you want, but this village, the site of this strange dystopian luminescent village titillates me, or something, make the word titillate more active as opposed to a noun, and I think that sentence would work better. Going through, yada yada yada. Just standing in this dreary place gives my olfactory organ a distasteful smell. Same thing here. Instead of giving your olfactory organ that distasteful smell, I would just say make the olfactory organ more active. So my olfactory organ detects a distasteful smell. Give it more of an active role, and that'll draw the reader in instead of just having it be kind of passive and picking up something. Going on, very good, very good. Okay, so this sentence right here has the potential to be so powerful. As I am shivering in the cold, polluted area, listening to the babble and village jargon of the people in Barnesville, I see something. And right there, you end it with a period, and I would recommend doing something else. Maybe a semicolon, or a colon, or a dash, because don't just leave us hanging there. The sentence isn't over, and the action isn't complete. And then you can jump into a sieve, lying on the ground with some sparkling moonstones caught in the stratum of the netting. And right here, I'm not really sure what you mean by the stratum of the netting, because stratum is like one thin layer, so is it a stratum? And what do you mean by a stratum of the netting? Like, what exactly would be the stratum in all of this netting? I guess that's what I'm a little bit confused on. But that sentence, if you don't cut it short with that period after something, could be really, really powerful. You can, jump into that next description of the sieve that you find. And the next, immediately after, I spider up to the sieve and pick up blah, 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 blah. So how do you spider? Are you on your hands and knees and feet? Are you, are you just walking? Are you walking in a spidering fashion? And that's something you can expand upon more. To just say you spider, it's like, yeah, I get it. You're walking like a spider. But I think you can make that a really, really powerful point in this story. It's kind of like you're getting mysterious and you have to be on hands and knees. And why? And you could say maybe you need to spider because, like you say later, there's a weird smell or something's going on that leads you to believe that something isn't right in your dystopian village. Going on, I also find a shiny thimble which twinkled in the streetlights. So up until now, you've been in present tense. The dystopian village of Barnesville gives off a strange sound. It is bland. Standing there, it gives my olfactory organ a smell. The sieve is lying on the ground. We're in the present tense, and all of a sudden the thimble twinkled, so it becomes past tense, and that's not really, it doesn't line up with the rest. So just make sure if you're going to be in present tense that you stay there. And the same thing a couple sentences later, as I am examining the shiny items, I pick up the scent of kerosene, period. Definitely not from a hearth, I thought. Try to connect those sentences so it's not pick up the scent of kerosene. definitely not from a hearth. You can connect them in a way that would make it more powerful, whether it's with a semicolon or a comma or whatnot. And the final thing I noticed would be these riots had been going on for a few months now, and then there's an end quotation. I said quietly to myself, you generally want to have a comma between the now and the end quotation. You don't just leave it with nothing. There needs to be some punctuation there. Good. Excellent start, Ryan. I think if you take those suggestions in, you format this so it looks like your papers normally do, you're always excellent with formatting. I think you're going to have a really, really interesting story. And do build off of those really, like, loaded points, like the spidering and whatnot. Don't be afraid to jump into a really exciting story there, and I think you'll have an excellent description of a dystopian village. Good luck. Email me if you have any questions.